Hi everyone, I'm Anna Sollini. I'm a FatChanceBellyDance instructor, sister studio, and also a sacred sword dancer and instructor. I'm presenting to you today a short warm-up specifically for sword dancers, because we usually warm up the rest of the body and in general before we dance, hopefully. But this is literally just to look at the areas that we need to have warm for sword dance, because obviously sword dance is a strenuous activity. I just want to say I'm not a doctor, so please listen to your own body, and if you feel you need to get checked over before you do any of this, then please do. I'm not a doctor or a personal trainer. This is just exercises that I've developed for me that I find work particularly well for me in my 13 years of sword dancing. Okay, so let's begin, shall we? We're going to start with the head and work our way down. So just to get warmed up, let's start with just a gentle stretch. Bring your ear down to your shoulder on one side, remembering to breathe, softening through the knees, letting that tailbone point towards the ground, slowly coming into our posture, and remembering the other side. So both sides, I bring the hands up slightly because I find that increases the stretch a little, and we're just bringing the ear down to that shoulder. Okay, so then we're going to draw small circles with the nose on that plane in front of you. So this is because the neck is so important for balancing the sword, having an elongated, strong and warmed up neck. All those small muscles, all those little cracks that you can feel. Let's get those out before we dance with swords. Okay, so we've done these circles with the nose. Moving on to looking over the shoulder one way as far as you can, looking right behind your shoulder, twisting that neck. Then big nod, yes, to the other shoulder, looking over that shoulder as far as you can, and up and down in between, looking over one way, nodding the head nice and big to the other side, and back to center. So now we're going to go from chin to chest, chest to chin, and then we try to bring that ear down to the shoulder on that side, but you're keeping that chest lifted and that chin down. And this is really stretching from the occipital down to the back of the shoulder and the scapula there. I really find that being a massage therapist has assisted with my warm-ups along the way that I've learned to do, like speaking to other massage therapists and osteopaths. So this was something that I was recommended as well, this next one. So keeping that shoulder back, lifting the chin, looking up and really trying to increase that space between the shoulder and the chin. Just look up into that diagonal corner, relax, push that shoulder down, head to center and the other side. So really pushing that shoulder down and back and lifting the chin. So you're stretching across the neck there, across the front side of the neck. Okay, so just gently chest to chin one more time. We're pressing our head up into our hands, not our hands down onto our head for this, just to gently stretch out the back of the neck. Okay, so moving on to the shoulders and the rib cage. So we want to draw nice big circles with the chest, really loosening up the rib cage. Don't worry too much about which direction you're going. Just really lift the chest and let go. Usually in FatChanceBellyDance, we don't concave the back and bring the shoulders forward when we dance. But as this is just a warm-up, if you want to move those shoulders around a little bit, just to try and get a nice maximum stretch of that gentle rib cage rotation there. So let's start with the shoulder circles, just gentle circles rolling back, up through the front, down through the back, and then making those bigger into elbow circles, drawing nice big circles with the elbows on the planes either side of the body, and then we're moving through to the wrists. So just really stretching out backwards, whole arms, feeling the stretch through the fingertips. Now the same but the other way. This time we'll start with the whole arm going forward, and then we'll make some nice big circles with those elbows. And finally coming to rolling those shoulders up through the back and down through the front. Up through the back and down through the front. So now we're going to continue with a posterior arm stretch. So just bringing that arm in a straight line across the chest. Keep that shoulder down. Bring the elbow in towards the chest and just wiggle the fingers. You can move the neck slightly as well. Opening out, lift the chest and back to the other side and wiggle the fingers. Bring the arms up ahead. You can gently hold onto the wrists and just get a side stretch all the way down the obliques in a straight line from the tip of the finger down to the hip on one side. Remembering to breathe through these stretches. And then the other side. So leaning over, really gently pulling at the wrists, but getting that stretch from the wrist down to the hip there. Okay. So hands above the head again, and this time placing a hand behind the back, and you can gently push that elbow down to allow that hand to creep a little further down the back if you need to, like I do. And then the same for the other side. Okay. So imagine our elbows on fixed points on the plane in front of us. We just want to make circles with that forearm and hands on top. So I'm just imagining my elbows are on a fixed point here. And these arms are going round the forearm, the wrist, the fingertips. And you can really add to that with a kind of floreo, a gentle floreo as well. And just loosening up the lower part of the hands and the fingers, reaching to this part of the body. So wrists, now we can do our floreos. So both directions, of course, reverse floreo and our usual direction. So really reaching through those fingers with those floreos. So now I want you to make a fist with the thumb, just gently holding onto that thumb, and this really stretches out the top ligaments here of the hand, I find. So gently just making circles, making a fist, holding onto the thumbs, keeping the thumbs towards the sky, the thumb bones towards the sky. And we're just gently circling. It feels a little awkward and stiff, but it will stretch out those thumb bones. And then doing that sideways as well, so our knuckles are pointing towards the sky, both directions, just to really get into those small areas in the wrist and thumb joint. So holding the fingers up, allowing the wrist to gently get a stretch there, just pull those fingers up and then gently down on one hand as well. And the same on this side. Pull the fingers up, getting that stretch through the wrist and the forearm, and down on that side. So making fists and opening the hands again. That's it, jazz hands. And then we're going to do circles with each individual finger. I know this can be tricky, but see how far you can go without the other fingers moving. This is something that takes a little bit of coordination. Some people are better at than others. Both directions. So now I've got to the little finger, we're going back the other way. The ring finger's a little harder. Nice big circles, as big as you can. Forefinger and thumb. Nice big circles with that thumb. Now shake everything out. And then just one last thing I'd like you to do is your feet a little bit more than hip width apart, allowing the body to fold and collapse forward and just letting go of those arms in the sockets. My knees are very slightly bent and I'm just letting go of my head and my arms completely. Now just swing backwards and forwards and allow the arms to swing in the sockets. Allow gravity to pull the arms and the fingertips towards the ground and the other way. So we're just making circles, allowing gravity. You can let your head and neck go, nodding yes and no, and gently, vertebrae at a time, coming back up. And now we are ready to dance with our swords. So thanks for joining me for the warm-up today from this beautiful location in Mallorca. I really appreciate all the people that continue to have classes and study and dance with me with swords. We have a really fantastic community. So thank you so much. This is my gift to you, my warm-up video that I've been promising you for a very long time. I hope you do this before class. That will be fantastic. And if you get a chance to do it before performing and things, then that's great also. I would recommend that. I just want to say thank you to you all and have a great day.